Hi, it's Aditya from Lighthaven. Today I wanted to talk to you about three major ways that we spar in Pikirita Shakali. The first way is what we call distance sparring. Um, Distance sparring is when we're not actually making contact with each other. We're working to keep a certain distance from each other, hence the name. And you're basically just working all of the techniques and movements that you have, and you're trying to respond to what someone else is doing in front of you. So you have a moving target, and you're also trying to respond to the kind of attacks that he's doing, to his footwork, to his strategy. This is the first kind of sparring that I was introduced to. Once you're comfortable with distance sparring, then you can move on to the next type of sparring, which is your technical sparring. The technical sparring is when you are still sort of trying to maintain that distance, and yet you are sort of still maneuvering using fakes and feints, and still trying to just now touch your opponent, touch him or her on the arm, on the leg, on the body. We're not hitting the head. We have no protective equipment over here, which is why we're not aiming for the head, and we're just looking to touch without being touched. That's whether this sort of sparring requires a very high level of technical skill. If you aren't comfortable with distance sparring, you will not be comfortable with your technical sparring. The last type of sparring is your full contact sparring. Is when you have a helmet and gloves. You have a helmet so you don't lose an eye or you don't die, and you have gloves so you don't break your fingers. In full contact sparring, if you lose your stick, at least under our rules, if you lose your stick, the fight is reset. You can pick up your stick, you start again in the middle. If you enter a clinch sort of situation, then you have a couple of seconds to break it off, or else someone will come and break it up for you. If you go to the ground, again, either you're given some time to stand up, or they will stand you back up. Apart from that, there aren't any other rules, or there are no real weight categories either. Now it's important to note that just because oftentimes students are introduced to distance sparring first, then technical sparring, and then last full contact sparring, that does not mean that distance sparring and technical sparring are for beginners. No matter what skill level you're at, you can gain a lot from distance sparring and technical sparring. Any good Filipino martial arts sparring program should have a good mixture of all three types of sparring: distance sparring, technical sparring, and full contact sparring. Distance sparring. Distance sparring is generally the thing that we begin with. Oftentimes when people are just starting out Filipino martial arts, they aren't very comfortable with moving from one technique or one movement to the next, right? They often stop after each hit and don't really fight in combinations. Distance sparring gives you a really good opportunity to try out a whole bunch of stuff, work on your footwork, work on combining your strikes together against a moving target without the fear of being hit, which is why it's actually a very important step into being able to do full contact sparring. When I'm distance sparring, I'm able to figure out how best can I combine my different strikes. How can I combine them with my footwork? Oftentimes in the beginning, I tell people whenever you get stuck in distance sparring, go back to your angle 1, angle 2. If you don't know what to do, because that often happens in the beginning, go back to your angle 1, angle 2. As you get comfortable with that, then you can start adding more strikes in. And then you can start trying to play off what your partner is doing. Distance sparring gives me an opportunity to do all of these things, because the consequences to me screwing up are pretty low. I'm not getting hit. So that fear factor is reduced. So it allows me to work on all of these things without being afraid.